Get ready for Squid Game Season 2, where the games are even more intense and the stakes are higher than ever. The players are back, and this time, the twists will leave you speechless. Grab your snacks, because this season will have you holding your breath with every turn. Are you ready to play? Because in Squid Game Season 2, no one is safe. In the first episode of Squid Game Season 2, Gi-hoon discovers that he's been secretly tracked by the game organizers. A small device is planted behind his ear, and in a moment of survival instinct, he decides to remove the tracker. He then finds himself in a deadly game of Russian roulette with a salesman, where emotions are high and the stakes are even higher. Gi-hoon keeps his cool, playing the game with a poker face, and manages to flip the situation, saving his life by taking a calculated risk. If you ever find yourself in the twisted world of Squid Game, here are some pro tips on how to stay alive. First off, if you're being tracked, and trust me, you will be, don't panic. You're not in a spy movie, but here's the secret. Grab a box cutter, get to work, and flush it down the toilet like it's a bad breakup. The goal is to get rid of that tracker before they track you down. Now, when it comes to playing Russian roulette, don't bring your emotions to the table. Leave them at home, where they belong. You need a poker face. The classic free gift trap. Someone offers you free stuff, and your first thought should be, what's the catch? In Squid Game, no one's giving away free bread rolls just to be nice. Sometimes, taking a risk could save your life. Gi-hoon gambles by shooting himself first, flipping the tables on his captors. Sure, it sounds like a crazy move, and it is, but sometimes life's a gamble. If you're confident in your decision, go for it. Just make sure you have a plan B. Listen up, no one in Squid Game is your friend. Not the cute mascot, not the guy you just met, not even your mom. Okay, maybe your mom. Everyone is playing their own game. And guess what? You're probably a pawn in theirs. Episode 2. The stakes get even higher as Gi-hoon delves deeper into the dark world of the game. Jun-ho hears a gunshot and finds the salesman's body at the motel. However, instead of Gi-hoon, he discovers the boss's partner, who has been gagged and tied up. Jun-ho frees him. Gi-hoon finds a black envelope with a pink ribbon on the salesman's body, containing a card that invites him to Club HDH at midnight. A woman working at the amusement park is revealed to have a connection to the game. She's approached by a mysterious man who invites her to join the deadly competition. At the motel, Gi-hoon ties up Jun-ho and lays out his plan to stop the game by locating the front man. At a Halloween party at Club HDH, Gi-hoon and the boss's partner enter the club, disguised with masks. However, things take a dark turn when Gi-hoon is captured and taken to a limo, while his team follows behind. Gi-hoon's plea to stop the game falls on deaf ears as he's knocked out by gas, revealing the front man, Gi-hoon's old nemesis. The woman from the amusement park, who appeared to be just a victim, is revealed to be a guard wearing a pink jumpsuit and mask. To survive the Squid Game, especially based on the intense events in Episode 2, here are some tailored survival tips. Pay attention to every clue, every conversation, and even objects that may seem insignificant at first. Even a simple card could change everything. You cannot afford to trust anyone, not even the person standing next to you in the crowd. Always question everyone's motives. The situation can change in an instant, like when Gi-hoon is taken into the limo. Flexibility is key to survival. Plan for the worst, but stay ready to pivot if things go sideways. Study your enemy's weaknesses, and don't be afraid to use it to your advantage. If you can outthink them, you can outlast them. Carrying basic survival tools or finding ways to defend yourself, even if it's just mental preparation, could be the difference between life and death. Everyone in the Squid Game is playing for their own gain, and even those who seem like allies could be your enemies in disguise. Always have a backup plan in place. In this game, it's not just about winning. It's about surviving long enough to make your move. In Episode 3 of Squid Game, Gi-hoon wakes up back in the game, confused but determined to change things. The players are informed they'll compete in 6 deadly games, with a chance to vote to end it after each one. Tensions rise as the players confront their debts and sign consent forms to continue. Gi-hoon spots some familiar faces, including Player 333, a former crypto investor, and Player 222, a pregnant woman. The first game, Red Light Green Light, begins with a giant robot girl monitoring the players. Gi-hoon warns everyone to stop during red light, but chaos breaks out when some players panic and are shot. Thanos, Player 230, under the influence of a pill, pushes others to their deaths. Gi-hoon helps an injured player cross the finish line, but the amusement park woman shoots him anyway. Afterward, 91 players are eliminated. To survive the events of Episode 3 in Squid Game, it's all about playing it cool under pressure. Literally. First, when that giant robot girl says red light, just freeze like you're auditioning for a mannequin challenge. If you move, boom, you're out. No question asked. And if someone's trying to shove you ahead like Thanos, player 230, on a pill, don't be the hero. Take a step back. You're not trying to win a gold medal in Most Murdered here. Also, Gi-hoon's big moment of heroism? Helping an injured player across the line might be great teamwork. But remember, the only thing you're guaranteed is a bullet from the amusement park woman. So maybe just focus on running first and saving the Good Samaritan act for later. Lastly, when they ask you to vote, think long and hard. 45.6 billion won sounds tempting, but remember, it's a game where people aren't just playing for money, they're playing for survival. So vote carefully, because a yes to continuing could have you dancing with death, and not in a fun way. In Episode 4 of Squid Game, the players are split into teams for a tough challenge called the Six-Legged Pentathlon, which has 5 mini-games. Gi-hoon and his team, including Jongbae, Dae-ho, player 001, and the pregnant Jun-hee, try to complete the games. The first minigame, Daki, is about flipping tiles, but things go wrong fast. The second game, Flying Stone, is a struggle for one team as they miss their throws. The third game is a tricky task, and the fourth game, Spinning Top, wastes even more time. Both teams fail to finish the course, and by the end, 10 players are eliminated. Meanwhile, player 001 becomes a hero by helping others. But Gi-hoon gets suspicious when he knows his name. In a separate story, the soldiers running the game are secretly involved in organ harvesting, with Soldier 011 trying to save players from being killed for their organs. This adds more tension as the episode ends with even more danger ahead. To survive Episode 4 of Squid Game, first, remember that teamwork is essential. But don't be that person who stands around hoping others do all the work. Pull your weight, or risk being the first one out when things get tough. When you're playing the Daki game and your tiles refuse to flip, just fake it. Act like that was your strategy all along. In the Flying Stone game, if you miss your throw, blame it on the wind, or say the stone has too much personality to stay still. For Gong Yi, when you inevitably mess up, make it seem like you're some kind of old-school game master, making the rest of the team think it's all part of the plan. In the Spinning Top game, stay confident even if the top doesn't spin. Just claim it's art, and leave everyone confused but impressed by your creative thinking. When things get really chaotic, stay calm, but not too calm. Looking to chill in this game just makes you suspicious. In the end, surviving in Squid Game comes down to strategy, a bit of luck, and knowing how to play the system. In Episode 5 of Squid Game Season 2, Hyunju's team pushes through their games, with her guiding the group and helping them win against the odds. Gi-hoon's team also moves forward, setting up tension for future rounds. Back at the dorm, Hyunju reveals she needs the prize money for surgery, while Thanos works to maintain control over his group. Meanwhile, Noyeol is attacked by soldiers, adding to the tension in the background. With more players eliminated, a vote is held to decide whether the game continues. Despite some doubts, the players overwhelmingly choose to stay, setting the stage for more challenges. Gi-hoon warns his team about potential nighttime attacks, and they take turns keeping watch. The next game, Mingle, has players forming groups based on announced numbers and rushing to rooms before doors close. With little time to strategize, the chaos grows. As alliances shift and distrust builds, the episode ends with rising tension, keeping viewers on edge for the next round. To survive Squid Game Episode 5, channel your inner ninja at night. Team up with allies and keep watch like you're guarding the last slice of pizza at a party. If you spot Young-sik's mom's hidden blade, grab it like your life depends on it. Because it does. During the Mingle game, don't panic. Move fast and buddy up like you're at a middle school dance where no one wants to be left standing awkwardly alone. Talk to your teammates, but don't trust them too much. Everyone's got a "I'll betray you for the prize money" glint in their eyes. Stay sharp, both mentally and physically, because the games are like gym class dodgeball on steroids. And remember, survival isn't just about strength, it's about outsmarting everyone else. So act clueless when necessary, but always think 3 steps ahead. Basically, survive like your rent depends on it. In Episode 6 of Squid Game Season 2, the chaos intensifies as the new game turns into a bloodbath. Players are killed mercilessly for choosing the wrong doors, leaving no safe place to hide. The room is drenched in blood, And even those who survive are shaken. Young-sik and his mother are tragically separated during the game. In-ho manipulates Young-sik's mom, trying to convince her she's been abandoned. But she stands her ground despite the emotional turmoil. As the game progresses, Myung-gi locks a door to save others, creating moral conflict among the remaining players. Young-mi's death deeply affects Hyun-ju, who struggles to cope with the loss. Meanwhile, Jun-ho uses a drone to search for clues and discovers a trap door on the island. But when ground troops investigate, a deadly booby trap is triggered, killing them in a devastating explosion. Back in the dorms, tensions rise as the players split into opposing factions, those who want to continue playing and those who wish to quit. The hostility leads to heated confrontations, including one where Thanos bullies Min-soo to change his vote. In a shocking turn, Min-soo stabs Thanos in the neck with a fork, reversing the power dynamic. To survive Squid Game Episode 6, first, remember the golden rule. Avoid being the loudest person in the room. When it comes to picking doors, do not overthink. This is no time for philosophical debates about fate and free will. Just pick a door and pray you didn't choose the instant regret option. If someone like Thanos tries to intimidate you into switching sides, channel your inner Min-soo. Keep a fork or anything sharp nearby, because in this game, cutlery isn't just for eating. But try to avoid getting into fights in the first place. Rule of thumb, don't make enemies with anyone holding a weapon. And definitely don't taunt someone whose name sounds like a Marvel villain. When the dorm divides into teams, make sure to join the calm and rational group, not the one plotting murder during lights out. Pro tip, if you see someone hiding weapons in their food tray, maybe suggest a safer alternative, like forming an alliance to stay alive together. And if you can, cozy up to Gi-hun. He always seems to survive somehow. In Episode 7 of Squid Game Season 2, the tension between Team O and Team X escalates. After the brutal bathroom fight, the players emerge bloodied, with both sides blaming each other. Team X still has the advantage with 48 players compared to Team O's 47. Meanwhile, Jun-ho and his team face trouble when their drone operator is killed by the boat captain, who is revealed to have a hidden agenda. Back in the dorms, Gi-hun predicts an attack during the night and tells his allies to hide under their beds. As expected, Team O strikes in the dark, using makeshift weapons to target vulnerable players from Team X. The dorm turns into chaos, with screams and fights breaking out everywhere. Gi-hun's group stays hidden, waiting for the right moment to act. The episode ends with growing tension, as Gi-hun's team plans to rebel against the frontman and the system behind the games. Surviving in Squid Game Episode 7? Oh, it's simple, really. Just follow these hilarious, but totally not recommended steps. When the lights go out, don't panic. Instead, whip out a flashlight and start making shadow puppets. It's like a fun distraction, and who knows, maybe you'll confuse the enemy with your expert shadow dog. Weapons? Nah, forget the knives and forks. Bring a plastic spoon. It's practically indestructible and might just be the only weapon the guards don't expect. Plus, if you survive, you can use it for eating your Squid Game cereal in peace. Hide under the bed like a ninja. Remember, if you're quiet enough, nobody will find you. Bonus points if you make a dramatic escape while everyone else is fighting. Just roll out and say you were napping in a very dramatic way. Team X versus Team O? Just join Team N for neutral. It's the perfect strategy. Nobody will notice you because you're just here for the snacks and the bathroom breaks. When you hear a fight starting, don't run towards it. Instead, make a dramatic entrance, like the hero in every movie. Run in slow motion, scream, "I'm here to save the day!" and then immediately trip over your own feet. Classic. The rebellion? Just wait for the right moment to dramatically raise your hand and say, "I motion for a pizza party to settle this once and for all?" Who's gonna argue with that? In Squid Game Season 2, surviving means playing smart, trusting the right people, and avoiding getting caught in deadly traps. Alliances form and break, while everyone fights to stay alive. In the end, it's all about who can outwit and outlast the others.